What is going on, everybody? Tim from Tierphone Orbital. This is going to be a pretty quick rundown demo video for an install that I recently completed on a Shadowfoil Hangman. So I'm not going to go into detail or do an in-depth walkthrough on the chassis. I feel as though I've done that once or twice before already. It is the same chassis that I've designed for the Hangman with that magnetic pogo pin connection. It's a fully removable chassis, so I'm not going to bore everyone with going into Fusion today, but we will do a quick demo and we'll talk about the hilt, right? So as I said, this is the Shadowfoil Hangman. It is a clan themed hilt. This is the steel version of this hilt, and it is super, super hefty. So obviously steel is more dense than aluminum, so you can definitely feel a difference in between this hilt and the aluminum version. Obviously, it feels a lot heavier. It feels like a weapon. With steel, obviously, you can heat stain steel. So the no-brainer there is I've heat stained the emitter on this to give it that, used look, right? Because lightsaber blades give off heat, don't they? I guess. But yeah, I really, really dig the look. I love the feel of this hilt. I like the weight. I like a heavy hilt. It makes it feel like a weapon to me. I've said this before. So I like a hefty hilt, and this is definitely hefty. It's made out of steel. So without further ado, and without me boring you anymore, let's get into it. Let's talk about the chassis and talk about how to use the hilt, and then we'll do a quick demo. All right? Okay, so let's come up top. So here it is. The Steel Hangman. This is from Shadowfoil Props. Super heavy. I mean, I one of these days I will do a comparison on weight. Put this one and the aluminum on a scale. It's so heavy. Definitely feels substantial. Feels like a weapon. Really, really love the look of this hilt. So I've said this before. I like clan hilts. I actually have 3 clan hilts in my collection. One of them being a Hangman, obviously. But what sold me on this hilt, personally, for me, was 2 things. The color scheme. I really, really like that blue, like navy blue on that gunmetal aluminum or steel. I love that 2-tone look. And of course, the Kim's Cantina PCB NeoPixel array. So there is a 42, I think they're 42 2020 NeoPixels or 1515 NeoPixels in this array underneath this window. So that was a big selling point for me personally because, I'm a simple man. I like blinkies, right? So anyhow, let's talk about it, right? So here's the hilt. Pommel does unscrew, grip does unscrew. For use of this hilt, I just unscrew the entire grip, and then you get at your chassis that way. So here are those magnetic pogo pin connectors. We've got a male and a female end. Makes a very satisfying click into the upper part of the chassis and just lives there, right? So to use your hilt, let's get a battery. All right, so to use your chassis, if spring side is your negative, you want to take the flat part of your battery, or the negative side, down towards the speaker. Put it in that battery tray. So this was already on. There is a kill switch down in this area that you can hit if you don't hear an audible cue. When the hilt is not in use, I suggest hitting this kill switch. Proffie board does have a deep sleep, but it always has some sort of parasitic drain. It is not like CFX where the battery will last forever if you're not using it. So I just like having a kill switch, especially on Proffie builds. So that's where that is, okay? Proffie board sits here. It does tuck up underneath that lip. Around back, here's our battery tray. We do have a 28mm speaker from Smuggler's Outpost. And up top, again, there's those magnetic pogo pins, all right? So once you get your battery in, line up this post with the hole in the upper part of that emitter, or the upper section of the hilt, and you're good to go. Okay. Really, really cool. So you can unplug it, plug it back in. So once you get your battery in and your chassis, you just screw the grip back on. until it stops, and you're good to go. Shadowfoil does include a Shadowfoil does include a really nice blade plug with this as well, made out of brass. All right, so let's come down to the bottom. So there's that Kim's Cantina NeoPixel array on the outside of the hilt. So that is an extra add-on, but why you wouldn't get this with the hilt is beyond me. I mean, it's a no-brainer to get this external NeoPixel strip, right? Shadowfoil does include like a blank clamp card, but this is actually a nice window that's above that NeoPixel array, right? Let's see what else we got on here. So I've programmed different animations for the array on the outside here. It's like a slow... Ascension. Here's a different one. So that's it, right? So let's put a blade in it. Okay, so this is a 1-inch blade holder. There is a set screw down below here that is holding in the blade plug currently. So take your blade plug out. Get your blade. Slide it down so it's resting on those PCB pins. I also love that this is a deep like blade holder. There's a lot of blade depth. Tighten your set screw and you're ready to go, right? Love this hilt. Let's see what else we put on here. Kylo Ren. Put that white fire swing on this blade style. So all these blade styles are actually these are the same ones that I run on my personal Hangman. Lord Vader. Playing around with the animations on this NeoPixel array is it's fun. I actually reached out to Brian Connor for a little bit of help with that because what I would like to achieve is almost like a test pattern, completely random blinking on the NeoPixels. It was hard for me to figure that out. So I played around in the Blade Builder, on Fett's Blade Builder, to try and get a look that was similar to that. But they're all different. Great hilt. So in this setup, the blue button is your main, top aluminum button is your aux. I've been trained in your Jedi arts. Really nice, really nice. All right, so before I get carried away and do that for another 15 minutes, that's about it. That's all I've got. So this, again, this was the Steel Hangman from Shadowfoil Props. I think this is it's about a half dozen now installs on this hilt that I've done. Maybe more, I don't know. But again, love this hilt, love revisiting it every time. To the client, thank you very much for trusting me with your install. To the viewers, everybody, thank you very much for watching. As I always say, if anyone has any questions or comments, I can be reached, here on YouTube, or I'm on the socials, or you can check out my website and ask any questions there in the message function. All right. So thank you everyone for your support. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Thanks for watching, everybody.